Guys, we actually hit 1,000 subscribers.
I have been married before and divorced, and now married again to the love of my life.
You could be one of the things I love. Sunday morning breakfast with that bedroom door locked. I like everything that has a cherry on top.
Guys, we actually hit 1,000 subscribers. I'm so excited. I am so humbled. I'm filled with gratitude. Like, I have a lot of emotions. It's been a couple of days since we hit that 1K subscriber mark. And I can't believe that we did this in just 1 month. Guys, yo. So if you're new here, my name is Eva, and I like to do lifestyle content. I like to do travel vlogs, and I like to share little snippets of my life here and there. And I started this vlog just about a month ago. I posted my first video on the 3rd of September. And today, as I shoot this video, today is the 13th of October. I officially hit the 1K subscriber mark this weekend. I think it was on Saturday. And so just 1 month and a few days, and I'm super, super duper excited. When I started the channel, not to sound cocky, I knew it was going to be successful because I was committed, and I was doing this with a lot of intention. But I didn't think that would be hitting milestones like this early. But I feel so grateful for all of you who've been able to support me this far, and to think that I have supporters and subscribers from all over the world, literally all over the world, is so humbling. I have viewers from India, I have viewers from Canada, I have viewers from the US, I have viewers from Japan, I have viewers from all over the world. And I also have my lovely viewers from Kenya, my lovely viewers from Nigeria. I love you all. Thank you so much for supporting me throughout this journey so far, and more is yet to come. So if you're watching this and you haven't subscribed yet, please take a moment, go ahead and subscribe. If you're watching this on TV, I'll leave a QR code right here so that it can make it easier for you to subscribe. You can just scan the QR code on your phone, and it will take you right to the subscribe page or my profile page on YouTube, and you can go ahead and hit the subscribe button. If you're watching this on your phone, then just scroll slightly down and you will see the subscribe button, and you can go ahead and subscribe. I decided for us to celebrate this 1K milestone, I wanted to sit down with you and chit chat a little bit. It's a weekday here, it's evening, it's a quiet, calm night, and I thought this is the perfect opportunity to do this. Now, I have a little drink here. So unfortunately, I no longer partake of, mommy juice or any adult beverage, if you know what I mean. But I have with me some kombucha. I think you saw me pouring that earlier. So I got this from Probiotics Pantry Kenya. If you're in Nairobi, you can reach out to them. So I'll be sipping on my kombucha. But for you guys, you can go ahead and grab a coffee, grab a drink, grab a glass of whatever makes you happy, and then let's sit down and chit chat and get to know me as I answer a few of the questions you guys asked me. Let's get into it.
So I have my questions here on the phone. And a few days ago, I asked you guys on my Instagram page and on the community space here on YouTube to go ahead and ask me questions that I will be answering during this Q&A video. So if you're not following me on Instagram, I'm quite active there. I'll leave a handle here. Please go follow me and let's and interact and engage both on Instagram and on YouTube. So let's just dive right in. How do you manage living between Kenya and Canada? I'm so curious what it's like. All right. So I know I started the channel with content about life in Canada, basically vlogging my stay in Canada. But the truth is, I actually primarily live in Nairobi, Kenya, and my husband lives in Canada. So I kind of split my time between Kenya and Canada, but my primary residence is Nairobi, and I just usually go to visit my husband in Canada. So I think the question was, how do I manage living between the two countries? Literally just traveling back and forth. But 90% of the time, I'm actually based here in Nairobi, Kenya. This is where my daughter and myself, this is where we live. What made you start YouTube and how did you find the courage to post your first video? Okay. I started YouTube. So, okay, back up. This is actually not my first time on YouTube. I've had a podcast on here, which I did with my aunt. Her name is Kathy. So I have been on YouTube. But this is my first time vlogging my life because the other channel was a podcast. We had a crew to help us shoot the content, and it was never me. It was always me and my podcast mate, if there's something like that. And so I would say this is officially the first time I'm on YouTube vlogging my life. And it's very funny because this was actually an idea that I had played around with in the past, but I was too scared to start. I'll be very honest with you. Until recently, very recently, during my last trip to Canada, my husband actually said, "Why don't you give it a go and go ahead and start your YouTube channel?" And I was like, "What?" And this was because my husband is not on social media. He's not on Instagram. He's not a social media person at all. But I have been very active on Instagram and I would post my travel, just my life basically on Instagram. And I would go back at the end of the day and tell him, oh, my followers are saying this, they're requesting for this. And so one day he just said, why don't you then just make long form content and post it on YouTube? And so they get to see a lot more. And I was like, are you serious? And he said, yeah, I'll support you. And so the very next day, we went ahead and just started vlogging without planning, strategy, nothing, just raw vlogs. And I sat on those vlogs for a little while because I then posted in September and I had started vlogging almost a month and a half before that. So why did I start YouTube? That's why I started. And my biggest supporter, my biggest pusher was my husband. Thank you, Mister. And how did I find the courage to start my first post or my first video? I just picked a date, didn't think about it much, and just, posted it, scheduled it, posted, and it went live. And then I went to Instagram and shared that I had officially started my YouTube channel. And that was it. And the rest is history. Okay, next question. Do you ever get homesick when you are abroad? I do. I do get homesick a lot. And the one thing I miss the most, or the person that I miss the most, is my daughter, because most of the trips I usually go alone. She's in school, and so she can't travel as much. I miss her a lot. I worry about her a lot. I think about her a lot when I'm gone. I just deal with a lot of mom guilt. I think it just generally comes with the territory. Or it just, it's a what do you call it? A double-sided sword. because I have to leave. I'm excited to be with my husband or wherever I'm traveling to, because it's not always Canada, even if I'm traveling to another country. But I miss her. I miss her a lot. And then the other thing that I miss the most is the food. Honestly speaking, I miss my ugali. I miss my nyama choma. I miss my skuma wiki, ugali and skuma, guys. I miss that a lot when I'm in Canada. Next question. I love your vlogs. Which one is your personal favorite so far? Thank you so much. Thanks for watching. To the person who asked this question. My personal favorite. I feel like my personal favorite is the one you just watched this Wednesday, the one that I'm flying back to Kenya. I feel like that's my favorite one. Not because of anything. I feel like it has a lot more variety. I was a little bit more comfortable on the camera. I was vlogging while on the go. So I think that's my personal favorite. And I know it's not going to be the personal favorite a few months to come because I keep improving my content. But at the moment, that's my personal favorite. I'm curious, guys, which one is your favorite so far? Let me know in the comment section. Okay. How do you stay so consistent with content and work at the same time? It's hard balancing. And I think there are some other questions actually that are similar to this, but I'll say this. It's hard balancing both work, motherhood, and content creation. By the way, if you're trying to start content creation or if you're wondering what goes into content creation, it's a lot of work. It requires passion and planning. So I think what really helped me is that I really shot a lot of content before I actually started my channel. So that means at any given time, I have about 2 to 3 videos ready to post. So that way I'm not feeling the pressure of, oh, I have to record the content just to make sure that I put out videos. It's just more like if I have something interesting that I want to vlog about, I'll whip out my camera and start the vlog. Because at that point I don't have pressure because I have scheduled content for about a week or so. So that's how I try to stay consistent. And I also get a lot of inspiration from watching other YouTubers actually, because then by watching other people's channels, I'm able to get ideas of what to vlog, especially on a day-to-day when you think your life is just ordinary and maybe not content worthy. So watching other YouTube videos also helps me a lot to stay consistent and just keep the camera on the go. Pick the camera on the go. All right. And then there's another question that's related to that. But this one was asked anonymously. So I think the question was, hey, I met you in the corporate world and you scared me in a good way. Oh, really? Okay, it's nice to see this other side of you. So go, Eva. Thank you. Thank you so much. Question: how do you balance work, content creation, personal life, ensuring all areas are healthy and succeeding? What inspired you to start content creation? I think I said what inspired me to start YouTube specifically. I've been in the content creation space on Instagram mostly, but YouTube specifically, I think I've addressed that. But in terms of balancing work, content creation, and personal life, honestly speaking, I feel like there are days where you have the balance and there are days that you don't have the balance. So I only pick up the camera when I'm in the mood to, and that's about it. And I just kind of record the content and store it safely, and then put aside some time, maybe over the weekend, to edit, because obviously during the week I have my 9 to 5. I have to be a mom. I have to be a wife, in a long distance marriage that, if as well. So which requires a lot of my attention. I also run a small business on the side. So I think I wouldn't say there's a balance. Honestly, you just do it. And when you can't, you drop a few things and pick up tomorrow. Like, I think that's just my mantra. I just check and make sure that I have the bandwidth to do what I need to do at that point and be present. Like, for example, recording this video, it's late at night and everybody's asleep. And since I am a night owl, like I prefer to sleep later, I'm here creating content. All right. And maybe I might also add that I really pride myself in doing things that I care about and doing them well. So if I am at work, for example, my 9 to 5, I want to understand what I'm doing and really give my all. If I'm doing content creation, the same. If I'm being a mother and, just giving my daughter attention, I like to be present in the moment. For example, when she comes from school, I try to be as present as possible with her. Recently, I've also started dropping her off to school, even though we don't live very far from her school, just so that I can spend those extra 3 minutes with her every day. I spare time uninterrupted to talk with my husband on phone when we're not together. So I think it's just breaking down little pieces of your day and being present in those little pieces. If the piece calls for you to attend to your role as a mother, even if it's short, 10, 15 minutes, just be present so that then you can be present for other things. All right, moving on to the next question. What's something you really miss about Kenya when you're in Canada? I think I've addressed that. The nyama choma and my daughter. What's your go-to drink order, coffee or tea? Listen, if you're asking this, that means you're a very new follower and you definitely do not follow me on Instagram. Please, again, go follow me on Instagram. I think that my followers on Instagram really have had the advantage of knowing me for a little while because I've been on Instagram for quite a long time. So go follow me. But anyway, I used to really love coffee. But coffee started giving me migraines, started messing up with my hormones. And so I stopped drinking coffee and I switched to matcha. And I am obsessed. I have to have a cup of matcha every day. I've learned how to make the matcha latte at home. So I do that every day. So matcha, coffee, tea, matcha. Matcha is the answer. Aha, what's the story behind your YouTube name, Miss Eva Speaks? No story. My Instagram handle is Miss Eva Speaks. Speaks because I feel like it's my little space on social media to give my 2 cents about things in the world or how I see the world. And so naturally, when I, opened the YouTube channel, I just used the same name. I also have a blog, by the way, missevaspeaks.com as well. So just to be, just to keep everything on on brand, if you may. And so yeah, Miss Eva Speaks on YouTube, Miss Eva Speaks on TikTok. Guys, I'm on TikTok. Miss Eva Speaks on Instagram and missevaspeaks.com for my blog. You always look so calm. How do you handle stress or burnout? Okay, thank you. I'm not always calm. But I will say this, in my later years, I'm in my late 30s now, I've learned how to manage stress better, I would say. I don't crash out as much. And if I do, I don't crash out loudly. So how do I manage stress? I take a pause. Nothing is ever that serious. I promise you, nothing is ever that serious. And when you feel like everything is caving in, just take a break. So I take a pause, I take a nap, and then I come back, journal, list down everything that's stressing me, and figure out which one can I deal with now. Deal with that, and then move to the next. That's just how I deal with stress, honestly. Burnout, I take longer days. So this is what I try to do. Every week, I try to take, so every day I try to take an hour to myself. Every week, I try to take a day to myself. That could be 6 hours, 12 hours. And every so often, I would say every 3 months, I try to take a few days for myself. And I just take a break. You might not be able to take a break from, let's say, motherhood, but definitely from work, where I'm not handling any business. I'm just sitting, watching ratchet TV, and not using my brain, and just take a break. Next question. If you could live anywhere for a year, where would you go? For a year, Greece. I have traveled to Greece. I traveled to Greece in 2023 and I really loved it. And I like the way the Greek people and the Greek culture kind of forces you to slow down. I truly believe that human beings were created to just be slow creatures. And I really liked it there. The food is fresh, the people are kind, life is slow. I would really want to move to Greece and live there for at least a year. What's one random fact about you that people wouldn't guess? I think the one thing that people think when they meet me is that I'm sassy and I'm extroverted, and that's the total opposite. I'm a very sensitive person on the inside, and I'm very introverted. And yeah, I think that usually surprises people a lot. What advice would you give a 25-year-old career, relationships, and business? I think the one advice I'd give anybody, not just a 25-year-old, but maybe mostly someone in their 20s, is that stay authentic. Whether it's in your career, your relationships, and business, stay authentic, stay open-minded, but stay authentic. Stay open-minded, but stay authentic. The reason why I say this is because when you're open-minded, whether it's relationships, business, or career, you allow yourself to learn, absorb things, open your eyes to opportunities or ways of doing things that might have not been exposed to you or have been accessible to you. So if you stay open, then you're able to learn. But even as you're learning, authenticity helps you stay grounded in what you like, in what you love, in a purpose you serve. So stay open-minded and stay authentic. Another question here is, how did you navigate dating as a single mom? And another one which is tied to that is, how did you and your past husband meet? If that's not too personal. All right. So I think one of the things that I'm not open about it. I'm just private about it. I mean, it's not a secret. I'm just private about it, is that I have been married before and divorced, and now married again to the love of my life. So how did I meet my husband? I met my husband online. We're in 2025, guys. I feel like, especially for an introvert like me, that's the best place to find a husband. Now, listen, I know that in those dating apps, that it's a mess. It's a dirty pool and it's a mess. But I feel like because I was able to put God first in my wanting to attract a husband, because I don't like saying I was looking for a husband. No, I was trying to attract a husband. God definitely played a big role, because I prayed. I prayed and put God at the center of that whole journey to finally meeting my husband. So if you're waiting and praying to attract a husband, my prayer goes out to you, and you just have to kind of stay authentic, and he'll come right to you. And so the other question was, how did you navigate dating as a single mom? So how did I navigate dating as a single? That was difficult. Honestly speaking, at the beginning, I didn't know exactly what I was doing. But I think as time went by, I was clearer on the kind of person that I want to be with. I really, even as much as I was divorced, I knew that I always wanted to be in the institution of marriage, because I think it's a beautiful institution that requires a lot of selflessness. And it's just beautiful to have one person to explore life with. So I always knew that I will be married again. And so I started, just like a few years before I started dating my now husband, I was very intentional. I was not wasting time. If I went on a date and the gentleman seated in front of me was not looking like they are meeting things that I was looking for in a husband, I would end that immediately. I'll break off that communication immediately because I truly believe wasting your time investing in someone who you can see that you don't have a future with is just a delay in meeting the right person. So as soon as you realize that the person you're talking to or you're investing your emotions in is not the person, just end it. There's no point of leading them on. There's no point of wasting your time. End it and use the time to work on yourself. And that way you will meet your person faster. Guys, by the way, the fastest way to meet your person is to work on yourself. I don't know how else to explain this. If you work on yourself, then you attract the right person. So the fastest way to find your person is to work on yourself. So go to therapy, journal, exercise, eat well, be the kind of a wife or a woman you'd like to be, and that person will find you. Your paths will cross for sure. Anyway, so much for that. Dr. Eva, Dr. Love Eva. What's your biggest money lesson as both a single and married lady? First and foremost, just like happiness, money matters are your business. Don't put your financial freedom in the hands of anybody else. I feel like as you work on yourself, emotions and stuff like that, also work on your finances. And I don't mean like rich money, like a lot of money. No, I just mean generally just learn how to work for your own money. Learn how to negotiate for a salary at work. Learn how to have a side hustle because you know if you're planning to create wealth, wealth does not come from employment, it comes from businesses and investments. Take that risk. Budget. Failure to budget or failure to plan is just a plan to fail, basically. So whether you're earning $100 or whether you're earning $10,000, you need a budget. And some of the good habits I would say is while you're budgeting, one of the biggest expenses in that budget should be your savings. And don't just save, don't put the money in the bank. Put it in a high yield interest account. Invest your money. But even with all that, give yourself some money to play. If you like travel, put away some money to go and travel. If you like to eat out, put away some money to eat out. If you like to dress well, put away some money to dress well and buy yourself some nice clothes, a nice bag. Life is for the living and everything has to come with a balance. So I think that would be the greatest money advice. Start that business early. The earlier you start, the earlier you fail, the earlier you will succeed. Start it early. All right. Next question. What's your favorite thing about living in Canada so far? As I said, I'm not yet permanently living in Canada. I mostly go to visit my husband, but when I'm there, I really enjoy the walks. Canada is a beautiful country. The nature in Canada is just absolutely amazing. I enjoy the trees and the greenery. It really absolutely is amazing and such breathtaking views out there. So if you live in Canada, tell me what you think about this. If you ever want to go anywhere with nature, Canada is definitely one of the destinations that you should consider. But the other favorite thing about Canada is my husband. I love my husband. He's my best friend. He's so much fun to be around. All right. What's one thing that instantly lifts your mood when you're having a bad day? Prayer. Prayer lifts my mood. And music. I love music. What's your comfort food or meal that you could eat every day? This is a tough one. A while back, it used to be pilau. Pilau is like a rice dish from the Kenyan coast. But now, what can I eat every day? I would still say pilau, even though I haven't eaten it in so long. But I wouldn't see my life a life where I cannot eat pilau. I feel like that's my comfort food. I like potatoes, so anything potatoes as well. If someone just discovered your channel, which video should they start with? I would say start with the very first one. The very first one when I was going to get my nails done. I like that video because it was raw. I was just starting out. I was very vulnerable. So I would want someone to start from there just to see me progress in this journey of vlogging and being on YouTube. What's been your most memorable travel experience so far? Greece. Greece was absolutely beautiful. There's something really magical about that country with the many islands. So I really, really enjoyed my travel to Greece. What's one lesson you've learned since becoming a content creator? It's about strategy and consistency, planning and consistency. It's not about what you have, the camera you have. I started filming or recording my first videos with my phone. I've now graduated to the DJI Osmo Pocket 3. Yay! But just that. What's your dream collab or brand deal you'd love to land one day? I think anything with matcha or scratch that. I'd like to collaborate with an airline like Qatar Airways. Please reach out to me. I'd love to collaborate with a hotel that has amazing results like Radisson. I'm already a Radisson member. And since I like to travel, so maybe Radisson Hotels, Qatar Airways, that would be amazing. Or maybe a cruise. Who knows? You always look so put together. Any skincare or routine tips? Thank you. I'm not laughing because I'm not well put together. It's just that I'm a very, very, very simple girl. I rarely wear makeup, but on skincare, I keep it very simple. Cleansing, moisturizing, sunscreen, and I get all my products from at JS Beauty. I will leave their Instagram page here and their website. If you're in Kenya, you can go ahead and get your skincare products from them. How do you stay confident in front of the camera? Practice many takes. The many times I've recorded one clip over and over. And then I think the more you do it, the more you get confident. So that's what I'd say. What's one piece of advice you'd give to someone starting YouTube today? Start now with whatever you have. Your phone, that's it. Just start. You'll improve as you go along. If you could redo one trip you've taken, which one would it be and why? Redo a trip. Redo a trip and why? I don't think I would want to redo a trip, honestly speaking, because I feel like the world is so big and there's so many places to see. So I wouldn't redo a trip, but I would go back to Greece. I know at this point I sound like a broken record. Okay. What's your idea of a perfect weekend? Slow morning, matcha, sunny day, nice vibes, good food, loved ones, my husband, my daughter, a movie in there at some point, just chill, a picnic or indoors with just a movie and popcorn. That's my perfect weekend. Guys, I'm so, so simple. What's one thing you've learned about yourself this year? That I am capable of handling a lot and I can do it. That's one thing I've learned. I've learned that I hold the power to how my future will look like. And so if I think it, I do it. If I want it, I achieve it. And so that's something I've learned about myself this year. And I'm so happy to finally get to that, mind space or mindset. What's your biggest soft life indulgence? Well, I like good things. I like to travel business class whenever I can afford it. Not all the time I can afford it, I'll tell you that. I like visiting the spas. I like me some nice body scrub and massage. And to me, actually, guys, to me, the ultimate luxury is slow mornings. If I could wake up slowly and quietly in the morning, that to me is luxury and that is soft life. So the mornings that I have to myself, slowly wake up with some nice little background music and have a nice cup of matcha, wake up to birds chirping, clear blue skies. Ooh, that to me is soft life. What's your favorite YouTube channel to watch when you're not filming? So I do watch a lot of YouTube, and my taste for YouTube channels is all over the place because I like to consume a lot and I like to see what people from different countries are filming. But I enjoy watching couple vlogs, family vlogs, travel vlogs. So I'll watch a lot of. So let me just name a few that I can remember top of mind. Dem and Ika, love them, Canadian couple. I also like to watch well, our tribe of many. I've been watching them for a really long time. Another couple, the husband is from Kenya. They're based in the US. They have a bunch of children. I love to see how authentic and dynamic that family is. Who else do I watch on a regular? In Kenya, I really enjoy watching Nairobi. She's amazing. I love her so much, and she's gorgeous, guys. Who else do I enjoy watching? Lately, I've been watching this lady, Chinenye Raymond, if I'm not, I don't know whether I'm pronouncing this name correctly, but she does silent vlogs. I think she's based in Finland. Her vlogs are just amazing, authentic. Love, love, love them. Yeah, so those are a few. For travel vlogs, I like watching Kish My World. I love Kish My World. I'll indulge in that. Watch them. Dave Money. They used to be in Kenya. Lovely, lovely Canadian couple. Um, who else do I watch? Travel. Mostly those. I mean, there are a lot more, but those are the ones that are coming up top of mind. How do you unwind or reset after a long day? Honestly, I look forward to evenings like this when the rest of the house is asleep, and I'll make myself a lovely cup of tea and just go onto YouTube and or Netflix and just binge watch, or well, not binge watch really, but watch an episode or two of my favorite vlog or something on Netflix and just kind of just unwind. That's my favorite way to unwind at the end of a long day. I like quiet. I light my candle. I'll cozy up with my blanket just like this and just, stay still with myself and just relax. Guys, I think that's it. Let me see whether I've missed any question. No, I think I've answered all the questions. That's it. And that's it. Guys, thank you so, so much for sending through your questions. Let me know if there's a question that you asked and I didn't answer. You can leave it in the comment section. I'll also leave an anonymous link on the description box so that if you want to ask me a question anonymously, you can go ahead and click on the link and ask me your questions there anonymously. Stay anonymous. If you don't mind asking the question in the comment section, you can go ahead and do that. You can also engage with me on Instagram. Leave your questions on the DM, mark it as Q&A so that I know what it's for. And maybe I'll do a part 2. But for now, I just want to say cheers to 1,000 subscribers. Let's get growing this channel. Again, if you're watching and you haven't subscribed, please go ahead and subscribe. Watch the other videos, support, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye.